So this is a question I like to ask veterans. It's another opportunity to kind of shine a light on America, but also on the flip side of kind of and how some people are ungrateful. I think with young people my age and younger, they take a lot of things for granted, number one. And two, because to your previous point, life has been so easy, they don't seem to understand that things happened before them, but their lives were very difficult. And a lot of people paid a high price to be here. You're one of them. You know a lot of people who are one of them, and so on and so on. So when you hear young people trash America as a terrible country or a horrific place to live, what instinctually do you want to respond when you hear someone just acting like this is a terrible place?
I have to keep my instincts in check. Quick story, true story. Right after getting back from Somalia, we were invited by the future mayor of New York, D.C., just a handful of us, to go to New York City and to lead the Veterans Day parade in November. By the way, the future mayor of New York City was Rudy Giuliani. And Giuliani invited me and about 5 of the Rangers to show up and to start the Veterans Day parade and to walk it down Fifth Avenue. And while we were in uniform and getting ready to stage at the start of the Veterans Day parade, no exaggeration, we were accosted in the subway by people who were screaming at us and spitting on us and calling us baby killers. And all of this is because of what they saw in the news about Somalia. And my buddy next to me went berserk and almost killed somebody in the subway. And I had to grab him and remind him, he doesn't know, the guy that's assaulting you right now doesn't know what you've gone through and will never understand what you've gone through. Now, to my buddy, Tim Pringle, that didn't make it any better because he's being spit on and accosted in the subway in New York. But I also reminded him he doesn't have to know and he will never understand because he lives in a country where you have done for him what he didn't have to do for himself. And it doesn't make it any easier to deal with, but just remind yourself tonight, Tim, he doesn't know, he will never understand because you have done for him what he didn't have to do for himself. And when people make disparaging comments about America, when Americans make disparaging comments about America, I simply think to myself, you're just putting your ignorance on display. You don't know what you don't know, and you're broadcasting to the world what you don't know because you have never had to be in the shoes or the boots of the guys and gals that I served with. And if you did, you would never make these comments. Because let's just be honest, America is not perfect, not even close. But I've been all over the world, and there is not another nation on earth, not even close to the freedoms that you have in America. So complain all you want, but you can't go anywhere else and find better. Not even close.
That is a great answer. It's an answer that I like to hear. The reason I asked that is I went to college kind of when the Iraq War was not in a great place, I think is what would be a way to say. It wasn't as bad as 06, 07. And I was a poli-sci guy, so I had classes with young people, and they talk about like American soldiers were over there like slaughtering kids or just stuff like that. I'm like, you guys have no idea what you're talking about. And not only that, you're saying those things from the air-conditioned campus of the University of Wisconsin. You're never going to get on a plane and fly over there, but you'll critique, you'll judge people you don't know. And that always drove me up the wall. And I feel like, unfortunately, that anti-American mindset seems to be getting more and more common